I am telling you, when I no longer have Saturday morning My Hero Academia to watch, it gonna take probably a decade for me to wake up on a Saturday morning for a show and have me feel like a kid again. Because quite literally, this show is doing what 8-year-old me experienced when I had all the different. I had Yu-Gi-Oh! I had Justice League. I had all these different combinations of shows, and man, there was something exciting about waking up on that Saturday morning and watching so many great cartoons, and even anime was sprinkled in there as well without me realizing it. But 120% Detroit Smash? Saying Deku's at 120% and then him saying Detroit Smash? Not even once, but man, the gear shifts. Everything. The fact that he has 5 minutes to break this man. And honestly, I've been pretty sure of this point the entire way through, but I was willing to admit if I was wrong, I was wrong. Like, I was 95% sure. Had Deku, prior to this episode, gotten to this location right away without being removed because of Toga's BS, Shigaraki would have lost almost right away. Not because he's weak, I just felt like with the plan and everything, with how good they did the plan without their key member, adding in what I assumed Deku could do, he would have wiped the floor with him rather quickly. And the fact that Deku pretty much has to use a different move every time because once it's seen, it's pretty much you can't use it again. And seeing what he was able to do, yeah, I'm pretty sure Shigaraki would have been bodied within 2.5 minutes. I ain't gonna lie. I have full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and hype to any of these My Hero episodes, it's gonna be over there exclusively. Wonderfully produced, creative as hell, and what the hell, man. I wasn't sure what they were gonna do with Deku realizing that Bakugo and the gang were kind of shit out of luck, and it was getting spicy for a bit. I thought we were gonna end up in a situation where Spider-Man no longer pulls his punches or something. Like, he was getting rowdy, man. Like, it looked like he was about to blow a gasket. They reel him back in, but that doesn't mean he's like happy-go-lucky, nice guy. No, he keeps the fire, it's just it's under control. And the idea that I love the fact that rather than going inside Deku's head for monologues during this fight, with the two of them, we go inside Shigaraki's at the start. Like, we do obviously hear the other users of the ability and stuff, but initially, when things are really not going Shigaraki's way, he's pretty much thinking like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on here? Because he's like, okay, I saw this, I know what to do, and then he shifts into different gear. And man, I don't know what it was about the animation, but it literally felt like a gear shift, and just the different impacts and the maneuverability. This man had a magical hat with so many different goddamn moves that he was pulling out of thin air, and it was just wonderful to witness. I think back to some of the early stuff in like seasons 2 and 3, you know, some of the bigger moments that really got the community on fire, and I'm like, this is this, but it's exactly that, just in an endgame fashion. Like, what I really appreciate is how many times I look at things and I think that should be the end. For all purposes, like what we did here, you would think, damn, we're at the finish line of My Hero Academia. Ignore the cliffhanger with how they start making it a little ominous, but like for the most part, you think there's no coming back from that. Yet I'm totally convinced that when he does come back and we have to extend this fight longer, it's not going to feel dragged out. Sometimes Battle Shonens, they do kind of, like, even when Battle Shonens are dragged out, I don't really have an issue. Like, I'm not going to be one to be like, oh man, this is boring to watch. Mostly I'll be like, okay, yeah, I can definitely feel like they extended this just to keep it going for money, rather than because it was a creative vision, but it's still enjoyable. I'll be honest, like, I'm not a hater in that way. But I honestly think My Hero, like, the way they keep it extended, it just, if you're gonna give me an end-of-the-world level threat, the fact that it actually feels like an end-of-the-world threat where everyone's getting bodied and you don't know who's gonna live, who's gonna die, or the overall outcome, I mean, the whole time since this started, I felt like Coffin in the Sky wasn't gonna last. I thought at some point it's gonna come tumbling down, and that's where the final battle will last, and I'm starting to feel that more and more with what we're building into. But even if that doesn't happen, it makes sense. This isn't a boring location, and they have so many different fights going on. And based on the end of the episode in the trailer, it does look like we're going to be shifting perspectives again, which honestly, it's not going to be my favorite perspective out of the batch, but I do think the ground level is going to be interesting to see, especially with what the heroes or the villains are going up against, seemingly just like general civilians right now. But what an incredible episode. There's not a single shot I want to point out, but there's a handful I want to. The initial pose, when I'm like, man, is my boy about to drop the hottest mixtape with all of his users? Like, holy, like straight out of Given, you know? It's just like, wow. The number of times we get like, it felt like a slingshot maneuver. Deku had a few different points, like sometimes character models will like zoom in on screen, right? But there was something about the kind of like the bounce, the swing of it. It's just like his character model was zoomy, fast as hell, but was packing a mean wallop. It was just absolutely pure fire, pure gas. And man, when I saw the first Detroit Smash in this episode, I just thought to myself, All Might who? You know, like, the fact that when you think of Season 1, and I think of that junkyard training where my boy just couldn't use this ability, I figure, like any show with an MC, eventually he gets to the top, of course. But I never expected his ability to become the Batman utility belt of quirks that he would utilize in such a perfect fashion while surpassing All Might's legacy in what he needs to do here. And that's really what it feels like he's done. Such an impactful episode. The whole like, as much as it's annoying when you get breaks because of Olympics or whatever else happens, every time an episode comes back this season for My Hero, I'm like, bitch, take a month if you want to give me the next episode if you're going to give me this level of quality and excitement. That's literally how I'm feeling. Just an absolute banger. I want to go rewatch it. Like, this is literally Child Brandon Saturday morning cartoons with a banger of a production, man. I never want to have kids. I hate kids, man, but this is a show I'd be like, damn it. You watch this exciting episode, you little brat, you. Let me know your feelings down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alrighty, so today we have True Obelisk, Sean, Damien Sezikes, Big Deval, Adler 2704, Shasho Passon, Jacob, and we also have A. Barrett. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. And if you're an anime only like me, cross your fingers, because goddamn, I'm feeling worried. I'm feeling excited and hyped, but I'm feeling worried. I still say Bez Genus has a death flag over his head. Shoot me.